Tell me you love me, Tamara.
I love you.
Welcome to reality TV, bitch!
When a group of arrogant bullies accidentally killed this shy schoolgirl during a cruel prank, they buried her body in the woods and assumed the secret was safe. They were wrong. She returned from the grave, and she's making every single one of them pay. The nightmare begins in English class, where Tamara sits isolated from everyone, daydreaming about her teacher, Mr. Natolly. But when her classmates humiliate her for spacing out, she retreats into a hidden spellbook on dark magic, unknowingly holding the exact key to her future resurrection. Ironically, Natolly's lesson that morning is about duality, the idea that everyone is capable of both good and evil. While he explains it, Tamara continues flipping through her spellbook until Patrick shoots a piece of paper into her hair with a straw. He immediately snatches the book and mocks her, but Natolly intervenes, warns him, and returns it to Tamara. Patrick simply high-fives Jesse as the bell rings. Tamara waits for most of the class to leave, only for Natolly to stop her with some good news. An article she wrote has been published in the school paper. He praises her intelligence and passion, but Tamara looks anything but excited. We quickly learn why. In the locker room, Kisha confronts Tamara because the article exposed athletes for using steroids and angrily throws a towel at her. Chloe steps in and tells Kisha to back off, but the backlash only gets worse when Patrick and Shawn chase Tamara through the school in retaliation. She escapes into Natolly's classroom, sending both boys retreating the moment they see him. Natolly wants to report them, but Tamara stops him. He reassures her that the upcoming drug tests were already being planned and reminds her that she can always come to him for help. Natolly admits he only published the article because he wanted to encourage her, but Tamara tells him it accomplished the opposite. People already disliked her, and now she feels like they hate her even more. Trying to comfort her, Natolly says that he likes her. Unfortunately, Tamara mistakes his kindness for something more. He immediately pulls away, humiliating her all over again, and neither of them realizes Kisha witnessed everything, setting off a deadly chain reaction that will push these bullies to murder her. Tamara returns to her locker and quietly studies her locket until Patrick and Shawn corner her again. Their threats cause it to fall, and Patrick deliberately crushes it beneath his shoe. The article has already cost Shawn his place on the team after he refused to take the drug test, potentially ruining his chance to impress scouts the following month. So when Kisha reveals that Tamara tried kissing Natolly and got rejected, Shawn suddenly sees the perfect way to humiliate her back. Tamara gets no relief at home. Her father runs a repair shop and immediately orders her to clean the steward's closet. She tells him she has had a terrible day and will do it later, but he responds by cursing at her. Meanwhile, Natolly tells his wife, Alison, that he has just realized Tamara has a serious crush on him. He assumes she will eventually get over the embarrassment, while Alison jokingly reminds him that teenage girls are no competition for a mature woman before revealing much bigger news. She might be pregnant. As Natolly celebrates, Shawn, Patrick, and Kisha begin preparing their prank. They suddenly invite Roger, another school nerd, to a party despite barely speaking to him normally. Roger immediately finds the invitation suspicious, but Patrick's real interest becomes clear when he casually asks whether Roger still works at the AV Center. Back home, Tamara's father continues belittling her interest in witchcraft, bitterly explaining that her mother eventually left him because sometimes love simply is not enough. Those words hit Tamara differently. She takes out a picture of Natolly and decides that if love will not come naturally, she will try forcing it with magic. Tamara begins a love-binding ritual, cutting off a strand of her hair, covering it in candle wax, and chanting the spell. She reaches the final step, which requires adding her own blood, but loses her nerve. Disgusted with herself, Tamara abandons the ritual, believing she failed to complete it, unaware that dark magic has already taken root, and the bullies hunting her are about to turn a shy schoolgirl into an unstoppable killer. Tamara receives a phone call from someone pretending to be Natolly. The caller claims he has secretly been hiding his feelings for her, says he has been dreaming about her, and asks her to meet him that night in room 39 at the Capri Motel. Tamara eagerly admits that she wants to spend the night with him too. Once the call ends, she explodes with excitement, convinced that her unfinished spell somehow worked. In reality, Shawn and the others have simply found the perfect way to lure her into their trap. Kisha, Shawn, and Roger wait for Patrick, who arrives after booking 2 motel rooms. Roger questions why they need both, but Shawn jokes that exotic dancers are coming while Patrick starts unloading video equipment. Meanwhile, Tamara prepares for what she believes will finally be her night with Natolly. At the motel, Kisha briefly apologizes to Chloe for their earlier argument, but Chloe uses the opportunity to urge her to stop treating Tamara so badly because the girl has already been through enough. Unfortunately, the prank is already in motion. Completely unaware of the setup, Tamara arrives believing she is finally meeting Natolly. The others watch through a live feed from the second room while she undresses, climbs into bed, and waits eagerly for the man she thinks confessed his love to her. Standing outside the door, Shawn asks Tamara to confirm that she loves him. The moment she does, he bursts inside with a camera and yanks away the duvet, exposing her to everyone watching. Roger instantly realizes that whatever he agreed to has gone far beyond some harmless prank. Meanwhile, Chloe forces Kisha to reveal Tamara's exact location and races toward the room. Humiliated and terrified, Tamara fights her way free from Shawn and rushes toward the exit, only to hear Chloe calling after her. Seeing Chloe there convinces Tamara that she was part of the setup too, so she charges back and shoves her toward the bed. Patrick keeps filming while the others struggle to restrain Tamara. She bites Patrick's arm while trying to escape, loses her balance, and smashes her head against a table. The room falls silent when Chloe realizes Tamara is dead. Shawn immediately takes control, refusing to throw his life away over what happened. He argues that if they keep quiet, the police will assume Tamara simply ran away. When Chloe refuses, Shawn threatens to claim that she and Jesse planned the prank, pointing out that the camera captured Tamara attacking Chloe, while Jesse reminds her that Tamara scratched them both. Investigators could find their skin beneath her fingernails. Cornered by the evidence and Shawn's threats, Chloe reluctantly gives in, and the group carries Tamara's body into the woods to bury her. Even beside the grave, Chloe begs them to call the police while there is still time, but Shawn refuses. When they turn back toward the body, Tamara has vanished. Before anyone can react, someone tears into Shawn's throat from behind. The others scatter as Tamara emerges from the darkness and turns toward Jesse next. Chloe desperately begs her to spare him, only to wake with a violent jolt. It was a nightmare. The scratches across Chloe's hand, however, are very real, and by Monday morning, the secret they buried in those woods is already walking back into school. At school, everyone involved in the motel incident sits through a quiz in grim silence. Chloe finishes early and excuses herself for the bathroom, where she bumps into another student and crouches to collect her things. When she looks up, she freezes. Tamara is standing directly in front of her. She casually tells Chloe that she looks pale and asks if something is wrong before walking into class as though nothing happened. Tamara explains that she had a rough weekend and almost died getting there, while everyone responsible for burying her stares in disbelief. Natolly tells her she will need to take a makeup test, and Tamara calmly agrees. Chloe returns moments later and cannot stop looking at her, while Tamara simply smiles back. Once class ends, Tamara approaches Natolly and admits she was feeling vulnerable the previous Friday, but assures him she is much better now. Elsewhere, the others desperately argue over the impossible. Shawn and Chloe both know Tamara was dead. Patrick blames witchcraft, and Shawn insists there has to be a rational explanation. More importantly, Shawn still believes he can intimidate her into staying quiet. Roger is about to discover just how badly they have underestimated her. While working alone in the AV center, the motel footage suddenly begins playing by itself. Roger frantically tries shutting it down, but the video keeps running. He closes the door, only to turn around and find Tamara standing there. Terrified, Roger apologizes and insists that he never understood what the others were planning. Tamara reminds him that understanding apparently came too late because he still helped bury her alive. The moment she touches him, Tamara peers into his memories and finds the excuse he kept repeating that night. He could not risk losing his scholarship, so she makes him experience exactly what his cowardice cost her. Roger suddenly feels himself trapped beneath the earth, clawing through dirt and choking for air as though he has been buried alive. None of it is physically happening, but the terror feels completely real. Tamara mocks how weak and frightened he is before walking away, and Roger's punishment is only beginning. Across the school, classroom monitors suddenly switch to a video of him. Roger confesses that he has done something terrible and says he wants to make things right, but Tamara is controlling every word and action. Speaking through him, she tells the students that Roger is accepting his punishment and encourages everyone else to stand up for what is right. She then forces him to take a box cutter and play with himself, first his ear, then tongue, while horrified students watch from their classrooms. Natolly races toward the recording room, desperately trying to stop him. But before he can break through the glass, Roger gives himself an eye patch. Natolly finally gets inside, only to find that he is already too late. Roger's death leaves the others even more shaken. Kisha tries convincing herself that maybe he never would have hurt himself if he had known Tamara was alive, but Chloe snaps. Whatever explanation they invent, Roger is dead because of what they did. Tamara suddenly joins them and tells Chloe not to be so hard on herself. Rather than sounding angry, she actually thanks them. Because of what happened at the motel, she says she is no longer the frightened, insecure girl they used to torment. Now, she knows exactly what she wants. Chloe insists they need to talk about what happened, while Jesse quickly points out that neither he nor Kisha knew what Shawn and Patrick had actually planned. Shawn immediately tries shifting the blame onto Patrick, but Chloe shuts everyone down. Who came up with which part no longer matters. Tamara agrees that she does not want excuses. When Chloe asks what she does want, Tamara simply tells them they will find out and walks away. The group returns to Tamara's grave looking for answers. Chloe briefly hallucinates something clawing through the dirt, but what she finds beside the grave is real, a torn page from Tamara's spellbook. Patrick immediately insists that this proves what he has been saying all along. This time, even Chloe is no longer willing to dismiss the possibility. While they investigate what happened in the woods, Tamara pushes deeper into Natolly's life by appearing unexpectedly inside his house. Startled, he asks why she is there, and Tamara claims she simply needs someone to talk to after Roger's death. She brings up their previous encounter, and Natolly apologizes if his kindness ever gave her the wrong impression. Tamara hardly seems interested in apologies. Instead, she deliberately draws his attention toward her body before asking whether he likes her new appearance. Natolly tells Tamara he liked her perfectly well before and warns that she should not change herself just to please other people.
Do you have any suggestions on pleasing me, Teach?
Tamara kisses him, but Natolly eventually pulls away and reminds her that he loves his wife. Tamara mocks his loyalty and leaves him with a warning. Sooner or later, he will give in, because she can already tell that part of him wants her. The following day, Tamara turns her attention toward the woman standing in her way. Pretending she needs counseling, she meets Alison and begins voicing the woman's most private insecurities back to her. Her fear of growing older in an unhappy marriage. Her fear that she cannot give Natolly what he wants, and the thought that younger women would gladly take her place. Before leaving, Tamara twists the knife even deeper by suggesting that Alison will never be able to give Natolly children. Alison immediately confronts her husband, demanding to know how Tamara could possibly know about their problems conceiving. Natolly denies telling her anything, but neither of them has an explanation. By the following day, Tamara has stopped hiding her obsession entirely. When Natolly confronts her about exposing Alison's private insecurities, she urges him to forget his wife and choose her instead. Natolly finally loses patience and orders Tamara to leave him alone. Chloe and Jesse witness enough of the exchange to realize that whatever happened to Tamara, her obsession with Natolly is still at the center of it. That night, Alison finally tells Natolly the truth. She isn't pregnant. While their marriage takes another emotional hit, Tamara returns home to an equally ugly situation. Her father suddenly tells her she looks beautiful and asks for a hug, but Tamara questions why he is so eager to diddle his own daughter. She moves toward him and uses the contact to peer into his thoughts. What she sees disgusts her. Tamara tells him that if he had loved her mother more than the bottle, he wouldn't be sitting here chasing after his own daughter. She then compels him to keep drinking, casually reminding him that there are more bottles in the fridge before walking away. Under her control, Mr. Riley continues drinking until he starts crunching the bottle itself along with the wine. Roger was only the beginning. Tamara is not simply killing the people around her anymore. She is turning their own secrets, desires, and weaknesses against them. Patrick becomes her next target during another party. The moment Tamara touches him, she peers into his memories and hears him repeatedly insisting on the night of her death that he wasn't going to jail. With his cowardice exposed, she compels Patrick to become obsessed with her and orders him to get her a drink. Shawn immediately notices the personality shift and demands to know what she did. Tamara answers by touching him too. Within seconds, both men are under her control. She leads Shawn and Patrick into a bedroom where their bravado exposes something far uglier than the motel prank. Tamara asks whether they want her, and both eagerly confirm that they do, more than the girls they had previously taken to the Capri Motel to drug and assault. That confession gives Tamara exactly what she needs. She tells them she wants them to understand what that feels like and orders Shawn to assault Patrick.
So, who's gonna pitch and who's gonna catch?
Meanwhile, Kisha rushes upstairs after learning Shawn disappeared with Tamara and Patrick. She enters the room and confronts Tamara, begging her to leave Shawn alone, but touching Tamara only gives her access to Kisha's deepest secrets. Tamara compels Kisha to desire her and admits that she used to envy her before exposing how much Kisha puts herself through just to stay beautiful for Shawn. Tamara forces her into a horrifying cycle of binging and purging until Kisha starts vomiting blood, only for Kisha to suddenly realize none of it actually happened. The command, however, remains. Kisha stumbles out and finds Chloe and Jesse waiting. They heard her screaming, but she simply announces that she is starving and heads straight for the food. She begins devouring everything she can reach, eventually chewing on her own fingers along with the meal. Chloe and Jesse finally drag her away, realizing Tamara's punishments are becoming more vicious with every target. Chloe decides they have run out of options and tells Jesse she is calling Natolly. Jesse realizes that means confessing the truth about Tamara's death and warns that they could all end up in jail. Chloe reminds him that the alternative is simply waiting for Tamara to come after them next. Before they can act, Kisha grabs the phone and calls Shawn. Tamara answers instead, and Kisha casually reveals that Chloe and Jesse are meeting Natolly to tell him everything. Jesse realizes the mistake a second too late and tries taking the phone, but Kisha fights him off until Chloe knocks her unconscious. Looking at Kisha's mangled fingers, they realize she really had been eating them. Across the party, Tamara tells Shawn and Patrick to get dressed. There has been a change of plans. When Chloe and Jesse finally meet Natolly, he examines Kisha's injuries and argues that she needs a hospital. Chloe insists their bigger problem is Tamara and finally lays out the impossible facts. Tamara died, returned completely changed, and everyone she touches seems to become a different person. Natolly still struggles to accept the witchcraft explanation, so he suggests going to Tamara's father for answers. Jesse wonders whether they are seriously supposed to knock on the man's door, tell him his daughter might be a zombie queen, and ask if they can have tea with him. Natolly shuts that idea down and knocks. When nobody answers, they enter the house and discover Mr. Riley dead after drinking himself to death, bottle and all. The search leads them to Tamara's room where they find her witchcraft book. Inside is a page with a section missing. Chloe places the torn piece recovered from the grave against it, and the writing becomes readable again. The spell is finally beginning to make sense. It describes a love-binding ritual that grants the caster the power to control people through touch. Jesse keeps reading and discovers the far more important part. The spell also binds Tamara to the person she loves. That is when Chloe reveals why Tamara went to the Capri Motel in the first place. She believed Natolly had invited her there because he loved her. Of everyone involved, he is still the one person Tamara truly wants, and Alison is now standing directly in her way, completely unaware that an army of mind-controlled killers is already closing in to finish the job. At home, Alison wakes with the feeling that someone is nearby and grabs a knife. Natolly tries calling her, but when he realizes her phone is dead, he rushes home. He is already too late. Shawn has broken inside and attacks Alison, but she manages to fight him off long enough to reach the exit, only to discover the door has been jammed. Patrick appears next and apologizes while explaining that Tamara wants Alison dead. The two men continue cornering her through the house, but Alison fights back with whatever she can find, eventually stabbing Patrick with a screwdriver and dropping Shawn with a shovel. She finally escapes outside and runs straight into the police officers Natolly called. Alison survived. At the hospital, Kisha is admitted for treatment while Natolly reunites with Alison, and Chloe and Jesse remain nearby. Tamara soon arrives at Natolly's house and touches one of the officers outside, compelling him to reveal exactly where Alison was taken. The moment Tamara enters the hospital, Kisha jolts awake. Natolly and Alison rush out while Tamara takes control of a security guard. Chloe and Jesse head toward the elevator, unaware she has arrived, until Kisha suddenly attacks them. They manage to overpower her and retreat toward the hospital kitchen, where Chloe reminds Jesse that Kisha is probably being controlled and they cannot simply kill her. Jesse points out that Kisha seems perfectly willing to murder them and picks up a knife for protection. Chloe hands him a sausage instead. The moment Kisha enters the kitchen, both of them scurry off like rats. Kisha grabs a knife and hunts them through the room until Chloe blindsides her with a frying pan. The fight quickly turns against them, with Kisha eventually getting on top of Chloe and punching the living daylights out of her. Jesse intervenes and deliberately draws Kisha toward the frying area. Bad decision though, because she almost makes grilled fish out of him. Chloe recovers and finally stops Kisha with an axe, but Jesse has already been badly injured. The two stagger into the corridor together until Jesse realizes he will only slow her down and urges Chloe to leave him behind. Outside, Tamara finally intercepts Alison and Natolly. She orders the security guard under her control to shoot Natolly, but Chloe arrives at the last second and strikes Tamara with the axe. Tamara turns on her, prepared to make her suffer, only to hesitate when she realizes Chloe was the one person who repeatedly tried convincing everyone else to do the right thing. Natolly seizes the opening. He tells Tamara that this is not who she really is and urges her to remember the girl she used to be. For the first time, the monster begins to crack. Tamara's new appearance starts rotting away as the old version of her resurfaces. She admits that she never wanted Natolly to become another mindless slave. She wanted him to choose her. But Tamara refuses to let things end there, and her body transforms again. Natolly approaches and reminds Tamara that she came back because of him. That is when she finally reveals the full consequence of the spell. As long as Natolly remains alive, it can never truly end. Their fates are bound together for as long as he lives. Natolly immediately understands what he has to do. He kisses Tamara, finally giving her the one thing she has wanted from the beginning, then pushes forward until both of them plunge from the highway together, sacrificing himself so Alison can survive and the woman he loves can finally be free of Tamara.